Hey there folks, today I'm bringing you my updated Kassai Sabers commoner list following the drop of Outsiders. A huge shout out to our channel members for supporting what we do here. If you want to get involved with the channel and the Dice Commando community, please consider joining as a channel member. Remember, these videos are only possible with your support. You can show that support with a like, a subscribe, and by leaving us a comment and sharing your feedback. Community first, and go Commando. Hey there, Flesh and Blood folks. Welcome back to Dice Commando and Go Again, a fabulous cast. Thanks for checking in. Once again, today going over my updated Kassai commoner list following Outsiders drop. We got a couple pieces of tech, and I've made some changes, and I like where it's at. So as we get into this, I do want to give a huge shout out and a happy birthday to Michael Allen. Michael is a longtime Kassai loyalist, and did well at his skirmish this weekend, so congrats on top 4 in your skirmish with our girl, /, baby. But yes, happy birthday, and make sure to give your partner a hug, because she was the one who reached out and let us know about you. So happy birthday, sir. All right, so going into today's list, the big changes are really the kind of the freewheeling renegades, which I'll link the video where I talked about that. So I wanted to give that a shot, and I do like where that is. It's really valuable, I think, in commoner, because we do see Prism and we do see Dramai, and having 4 poppers now that are only 2 of them are quote-unquote useless really does quite a bit of work. So let's go ahead and run through the deck itself, and then I'll talk some changes that I've made, or the changes that I made, and we can go from there. All right, so the loadout is unchanged. It's really pretty straightforward, which is nice. So you've got the 2 Sabers. I do run Blossom of Spring. I run that in the Wizard matchups. I have Gallantry Gold, and then I have Ironhide Plate and Ironhide Helm, as well as Ironwrought Plate. So the chess pieces, we do have 3 chess pieces in here. I will be honest, most of the time you're running the Ironwrought Plate and the Ironwrought Helm. All right, we of course have Refraction Bolters. Remember, Gold and Bolters both have Battle Worn, and Refraction Bolters is one that's very easy for those of us who play Kassai and normal constructed. It's very easy to forget about the Go Again. It's not easy to forget about it, but I find that sometimes I don't incorporate the fact that I have an onboard Go Again when I'm doing the deck building, which is really nice because it gives you that bailout. Whereas if, most of the other formats, let's be honest, you're playing Dynamos, and you don't always have that on board. So you do kind of have to put or at least I have to put myself in kind of a different deck building mindset that I can run a little leaner on those than you might otherwise be comfortable with. And of course we have null gloves, null hood, and null robe. You do want the boots in that case because of what I just mentioned. All right, so let's go ahead into the main deck. You can see it right there. We are running 6 Blade Runners, the full rainbow. We're running 6 Hit and Runs, the full rainbow. Makes complete sense. Now, one change to this, though, is I did not used to run red hit and run. I used to run yellow and blue, and instead I used to run yellow driving blade. And the reason we've skewed to hit and run is because of the freewheeling renegades play on this, right? That we want to be able to essentially use red hit and run ideally as a mid, I was going to say back pump, but it's kind of a mid pump in that case, right? So you want to do your first one, give it goes, and then do red to give goes and +3, and then follow up with freewheeling renegades, and that's all for 1 blue pitch, which is really, really sweet. All right, so we have 2 driving blades red. As I mentioned, that's one of the changes I took out, was the 2 yellows are no longer there. I found the yellow was nice because this whole deck can usually work off of yellow pitch. That said, with the bolters, I just found I wasn't necessarily needing it, and we needed some space. So did add freewheeling renegades, no surprise there. I've talked to that a bunch already, but the slot I took out for it is you'll notice the lack of push forward. Push forward is a very good card. It's a 1 for 3, and if you've attacked with a weapon, your next attack gets dominate, which is very strong. That said, I like the ability to come with 3 attacks more. That's where I'm at right now with it. I always reserve the right to come back, but it's just the pure utility of having another popper on board is pretty strong. Right, so in the swing, running the red, of course, that's a no-brainer, but I also like to run the blue just because I am running 10 blues. You can see here on the stats, running 10 blues. I think that's the right number because Icelander is a thing in the format. She's very good. So whereas in other Kassai builds, you might run a lot leaner with more yellows. We're running more blues here, and in the swings, just a good blue. It's basically follows the same logic as most, we have red Iron Song and blue Iron Song. It's really the same logic there, right? It's basically the same play, for lack of, they're not exactly the same, but you follow my point, right? And then I have Front Pump, Outland Skirmish, as well as Sharpened Steel. I have Sink Below, I've swapped out Fate Foreseen for Oasis Respite because we have more blues. It actually gives you a fighting chance against Icelander. It's still not a great match, but it gives you more of a fighting chance. And then we have Puncture Out for Blood. Those are pretty self-explanatory. Blade Flash from the 2-player set, great include there. It's essentially your Glint, right, in Commoner. And then Raging Onslaught, no surprise there. You folks know that I'm in love with that card in many, many formats. So anyway, that's the list. As far as this, it's just Kassai, right? I don't really know if I have to walk you through much of the strategy, but it's just Kassai. She can do pretty good things with 2-card hands. She can do great things with 3-card hands. And this deck now with the 3rd attack with a 4-card hand. So anyway, folks, that's it. I'll have the link below, which most of you probably clicked on and just clicked on and then closed the video. But fair enough. So if you're still here, give me a Kassai in the comments, or give me a Sabers in the comments. I like that. Give me a Sabers in the comments. Thank you all for tuning in again. Happy birthday, Michael. And if nothing else, go Commando.